Hey all, welcome back to my channel. Recently, Jamie Paige made a video called My Makeup Collection If I Wasn't a Beauty Guru or If I Wasn't a YouTuber. This concept of my makeup collection if I wasn't a YouTuber is not a new concept. There are a ton of people who have already done videos on this, but the thing that was unique and I guess attractive to me about Jamie Paige's version is that it had clear outlines of rules of what you could include. Because a lot of times when I watched like my makeup collection if I weren't whatever, or like what I would buy first if I lost all my makeup or something like that, it's a ton of makeup. Like it's a long list of stuff. And so I'm like, that's still a beauty YouTube kind of size of collection. But the rules in Jamie Paige's video that I will be following in this video is 5 of each like overarching makeup category. So that's 5 products for face, 5 for cheeks, 5 for eyes, and 5 for lips. And you hear that and you're like, whoa, that's still a lot, girl. When you think about it, it's really 1 of each kind of product and maybe 2 of some other ones. So like for eyes, that includes eyeshadow, mascara, eyeliner, and any sort of brow product. So 5 products to encompass all of those. And for face, it's like primer, foundation, concealer, powder, and setting spray. So as you can see, if you use every single type of makeup product, then it really doesn't give you that much flexibility, which is something I like. So let's get into it. The first set of makeup products that I'm talking about are my base products. So that includes, as I said before, primers, foundations, or anything like tinted moisturizers, BB creams, so on and so forth, concealers, powders, and setting spray. So I actually am not including a setting spray, and I am not including a primer because I don't use primer on a daily basis anyways, and I am not including a powder or foundation, so that's why I'm not having a setting spray. In terms of priming my skin, a lot of people say you can use moisturizer. Sure, you can use moisturizer as your skincare primer, but then also the thing is a lot of daytime moisturizers have silicones in them, so you can use a silicone-based moisturizer as well, and it does effectively the same thing. So the first base product I'm going to mention is a foundation, and I included 2 foundation products. So the first I'm mentioning is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation, and I love this foundation. I think it's amazing. Starting off, let me mention that my skin type is oily combination, and I hear some people with dry skin like this foundation, but I can't really speak on the experience of using this foundation if you have that skin type. For me, what I really like is that it's not dewy. I don't really like dewy foundations because I think it makes me look greasy, and then you're gonna laugh at me at my next pick, but for this one, I like that the finish is very natural. That's it, it's natural. It looks good. It doesn't break down on my skin like throughout the day, because there are times where if I have a super long hospital shift, I'm working for like 13 hours or something, and this still looks fine at the end of the workday. They also have a great shade range, a lot of different undertones for every depth of skin. So I think that you can find your shade in this. My second foundation product is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, and this is the second full size that I've gone through of this, and I've gone through a couple, maybe only one mini size as well. One thing I like about this is, at least to me, it's very easy to spread on my face with my hands. And a lot of times when I'm getting ready in the morning, I do not even deal with brushes or sponges. I like applying things with my hands. This is nice because it doesn't make me break out. It doesn't irritate my skin at all. The second ingredient, I'm pretty sure, is snail mucin of some sort, which is an amazing skincare product. I am a big fan of it. It's great for hydration, scarring, health. And it also has a little bit of an SPF boost with SPF 50, although realistically you're probably getting like SPF 15 with the amount of product that you put on for a foundation, because this is fairly full coverage, medium to full coverage, but it's always nice to have a little bit of an extra layer over my normal daily sunscreen. I have this in the shade Light, by the way. I do like to powder my T-zone though when I use this, but otherwise on the cheeks it looks very beautiful. I think that this is better for my skin than a lot of other foundations, whether that's in my head or not, and I like how easy it is to apply, and I like how it makes my skin look. I included 2 concealers in my 5 base products. So the first concealer, which I am so close to finishing, is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Treatment Concealer, and I have mine in the shade Neutralizer. It's the most yellow color, which is good for my skin. And I like using this under my eyes as well as on my face. like over dark spots and whatnot. And this is just a beautiful formula. It's so smooth and easy to blend. It never settles into my lines. I don't have lines, no, but like it doesn't settle strangely into like my smile lines or like my one crease in my eye and whatnot. My second concealer is for days that maybe I'm just hanging at home or for days that I'm kind of not wearing that much makeup, and that is the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I have mine in the shade G9, which is their like quote medium shade, but it's still pretty light. I like this. This isn't a brightening tone for me, but it's fairly close to like my exact skin tone because I wanted to get a shade that I can use on my blemishes and not have them be highlighted or stand out. And this is a really nice formula. It's very emollient. I do have to set it down with powder, otherwise it will not stay on my face. But this just makes the skin look so nice and so healthy and so natural. I don't have really intense dark blue circles or anything to cover up, but I anticipate that if I wanted to cover those up, this would not be the product for that. So I wanted to have like 2 concealers for 2 different purposes and different kinds of days. My fifth and last base product is a powder because I need a powder. And I bet a lot of y'all who watch me are betting that I will put the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and psych, I'm actually not picking that. I'm picking the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. And I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I literally only got this like 2 weeks ago and I've only used it a couple times, but I was instantly impressed with this powder. I have mine in the lightest shade, which is Porcelain L1, and it is so fine. It's so smooth. It really, oh man, I don't even know how to describe powders. How do you describe how a powder works? Other powders work really smoothly on top of this as well. So if I set my entire face and not just my T-zone, like powder, bronzers, and blushes and highlighters blend very well on top of this. So I just got this, but I think that I'm gonna go through this and have to buy another one eventually. My second category is going to be cheap. So that includes bronzers, blushes, and highlighters. So how I broke up my 5 items is a cream bronzer and powder bronzer, a cream blush and powder blush, and 1 cream liquid highlighter. Let me talk about my bronzer. I talk about this anytime I talk about a bronzer. So that is the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer in the shade Baked, which is the lighter shade variation. I have the full size. I really recommend that you don't buy the full size. I would recommend getting the mini size, even though like ounce per ounce, the value of this is 2.5 times more than the value of the mini size. But what does the value matter if you're not gonna use the extra product to get the value's worth? So I have used this 70 times. I've been counting. I've used it 70 times and I have barely twisted up this product. But anyways, about how this product looks, it's quote a matte bronzer, like that's the name of the bronzer, but the finish of it is quite creamy. It's not matte. What I'll do is open it up. I'll take a small stippling brush like from e.l.f. or something that costs $3 and just swirl it and then stipple it along here and then blend from there up and around and along my jawline. And it is just so good at its job. It has kind of a yellow base tone to it, which is perfect and excellent for my skin tone especially. There's so many times that I wanted to buy another cream bronzer, but then I think and I'm like, will I like it more than this bronzer? And the answer is no. The second bronzer, which is my powder bronzer, is going to be my e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in the shade Forever Sunkissed, which is the lightest shade. And this is such a nice powder bronzer. It blends really well. It's affordable. It's $6. And I like this better than my Hoola bronzer. The tone of this is lighter than Hoola, but I actually find this easier to work with. This is a big recommend from me if you're looking for an affordable bronzer. Now for my blushes. My first blush, which I am actually amazed that I am almost completely done with this liquid cream blush. This is the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Dusk. And look at how almost close I am to finishing it. This is my first cream blush. I think this might have been my first blush, period. I have gotten a lot of cream blushes since getting this one, and this is still my favorite. It is a gel cream formula, and it is very easy to blend. So a lot of people use a brush, like a stippling brush to put this on, and yes, you can do that to get a perfectly even coverage, but a lot of times I just apply this with my fingers and just tap with my fingers like they're beauty blender, and it looks amazing. This tone in particular is very brownie nude, which I think works great for any look, because if this is gonna be like my single cream blush in my entire collection, I want one that's not going to overwhelm or take the attention away from whatever else is on my face. If I wanted to do a bolder eye look that day, if I wanted to wear a bolder lip, then this is one that plays along well with everything. Speaking of blushes that play along well with everything, I'll come to my second blush pick, which is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Exposed, which is one of their nudist blushes. I'm picking this because I actually do like a matte blush, and the main reason I'm picking this though is because it is so long lasting. It lasts forever. And I really appreciate that in a blush. Kelly Gooch was trying to pan this blush and it took her literally 2 years. So even though this is a mini of the product, it's gonna last me a long, like it lasts a long time through the day, and it lasts a long time over time to use it up as well. Now for my last face product, which is my one highlighter. And this is an expensive one. It costs $44, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. And I have mine in the shade 2, which is light. And man, I really debated between including this or just going for the more affordable option, the ColourPop Lunch Money Super Shock Highlighter. But I decided to pick the product that I like the best and not pick the cheaper product just because it's cheaper, even though I don't like the effect of it as much. Would I really buy this if I had to start my collection over again, or if I could only have one highlighter? I don't know, but today, how I'm feeling today, this gives me my favorite effect ever among all of my highlighters. So I opted to choose a cream highlighter over a powder one because I think there is a certain limitation to powder highlighters in how it will look on your face. Cream highlighters are a little bit easier to get the glow from within look that I'm looking for. I'm wearing this on my cheeks today. Everything I'm wearing on my face today is among my picks of this video, so I will clarify exactly what in the description box if I haven't been doing a good job of it through the video. This product is actually a lot more reflective than I thought it was, because I always heard people say that on like a really light makeup day you can put this all over the face and just wear that. So I figured like, oh, it's like a tinted moisturizer, but it's quite glowy. This is all I'm wearing on my cheeks as highlighter. This product I use exclusively as a highlighter for my cheekbones. I don't use it as a primer. I don't mix it in with my foundations. I don't wear it by itself because I think it's too strong for that. But as a highlighter, I love it. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to eyes. The category of eyes includes everything: brows, eyeshadow, eyeliner, and mascara. Let's talk about mascara first, just to get it out of the way. My mascara pick is the Lash Princess mascara by Essence. This is just like superior, and it is the most affordable mascara I think I own. And I reached for this over my NARS Climax, over my Glossier, over my Milk Makeup. It's just good and it's affordable, and I would not hesitate whatsoever to buy this again. If anyone is asking for a mascara recommendation, this is what I would recommend, because I think that it's very unnecessary to spend anything more than this. Unless you're like a YouTuber, but that's not what the video is about, is it? Okay, now for brows. I have only one brow product that I picked, and it's a brow gel. It's a tinted brow gel, the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel in the shade Dark Brown. So this is a tinted brow gel, obviously. It's a very waxy formula, and it also has fibers for fluffing in the brows when you do it, when you run it through your brows. So it's a brow gel I'm wearing today, and what I like about this is that the feel once it dries down is not crunchy. It's very flexible, and I have days where I want a crunchy brow. Like if I want super feathered brows, I don't really care if my brows are crunchy, but this gives me like a fluffy brow look as well. It really holds my hairs without that feeling. I picked the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel over my Glossier Boy Brow because it's the same. And I have gone through tubes of the Glossier Boy Brow, and I've gone through tubes of the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. My last 3 products in this category are eyeshadow palettes, but one of the palettes I specifically picked for my brows, so I will talk about that one first. And that is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. So I picked this palette because I want to use it every single day for these two dark brown shades, I take a mix of these and fill in my brows, and that's what I've been doing almost every single day lately. With this gel, I don't need to fill in with powder if I'm going for like a more natural day, but today I did because I'm filming. But other than these two browns, which is largely what I picked this palette for, the rest of the palette is very nice too. I can use it every day. It's good for work, it's good for church, it's good for playing around. My second eyeshadow palette, item 4 out of 5 for eyes, is my everyday palette. And that's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam. I talk about this palette a lot. A lot of people talk about this palette a lot, but I like the formula. It blends very fast, and so I don't have to spend a lot of time on my eyeshadow in the mornings. And the tones are exactly my tones. It's either neutral or it's red pinks, which is literally the visible definition of this palette. I just hit myself a little bit there. And this is what I used on my eyes today for this all matte kind of red burgundy smoky eye. Big fan, big fan. It gives me enough variety to where I won't get bored. And my last eye pick is a little mini baby palette, and that is the Huda Beauty Nude Obsessions Light palette. And here are the tones, and I picked this to fill in what I didn't have already. I could have picked a huge palette. I could have picked a big palette, like the ColourPop So Jaded as one of my as one of my picks for this video. But in my head, I'm kind of like, that's cheating because it's a big palette. It's gonna have that's not what the average consumer is considering for their one of very few eyeshadow palette picks. These are tones I know I use a lot, and I just am so happy every time I use this palette because it makes me feel like a pretty princess. So by sheer emotion as well as practicality, I picked this palette to include. Now we're on to our last category, which is lips. So 5 lip products, including and encompassing lip glosses, bullet lipsticks, matte liquid lipsticks, and lip stains. So I have 2 glosses, 1 liquid lipstick, and you'll see why I did the quotes around that in a bit, and 2 bullet lipsticks. Let me talk about my glosses first. Let me talk about first the gloss that nobody's gonna be surprised by, and that is the Fenty gloss in the shade Fenty Glow, which is the original shade. I am like straight up scraping the sides to try to get any more lip gloss out of this. Like, do you see this? Among the Fenty gloss shades that I own, which is currently Fenty Glow, Fussy, and Diamond Milk, the earliest 3 shades, this one is my favorite because it's peachy, it goes well with my skin tone, it adds a little bit of warmth and bronziness to my lips. I think it's the most flattering on me, and I guess it's my original love as well. My second gloss pick is actually a colorful one, and that is the Persona Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Coral. And this is a coral, of course, red toned gloss, and it's fairly pigmented. Like, it actually leaves me with a red kind of tone, why can't I speak? It leaves me with a red tint on my lips when I use it. And I think it just looks so like I just ate a popsicle and my lips are stained and it's summer and I'm 10 years old kind of feel for me. I also really adore this lip gloss formula. I have this gloss in Coral as well as Pink and Honey. Honey, by the way, is the exact same tone as Fenty Glow of this. The formula is a little bit different, but the tone is exactly the same. If you already own one, I don't think you need to own the other. But among those shades, I picked this one because it's the most fun and it makes me feel the most when I wear it. Now for my liquid lipstick. And for that pick, I have the L'Oreal Rouge Signature Matte Lip Stain. And this is liquid, yes, but it's truly a lip stain. It feels like water going on. It's what I'm wearing on my lips, and I'm not wearing anything else like under it or over it. It's not drying at all. It straight up feels like water, but this is also a stain. So I have this in 5 shades. I really like this formula, but like if you wear a red, your lips are gonna be red all day. And some people don't like staining. I love lipsticks that stain because it means that I'm not gonna have like an obvious line of where the lipstick wore off if I'm wearing a shade that's not exactly my lip color. Maybe that's just the Korean in me talking about how I love like lip tints and lip stains, but for me, like when I think about it functionally, they just make more sense. My last 2 picks for lips are the Maybelline lipstick in the shade Spice for Me, and I picked this to have a not nude color besides the Persona Coral gloss. I like this as my red pick because it's a kind of brown red. These swatches may not be the best, but actually that's a pretty good swatch. It's a red, but it's a very approachable red. And if I have to pick a red, it's this one. Even if I don't have to pick a red, I pick this one. And you can wear it out, sheer it out, just kind of be like a kiss of color, or you can really build it up to have a more 90s kind of brick brown red kind of look going on. It's affordable too, which is nice. My last lipstick pick is a nude lipstick, and that is the Urban Decay Vice lipstick in the shade Liar, and this is in the cream formula. This is my perfect peachy nude lipstick. My Lips But Better shade, and it is just really comfortable. I picked this formula over a ColourPop formula because this is creamier. This is the creamiest bullet lipstick that I own. I mean, the ColourPop lipsticks work too, but they don't feel the same, I will tell you. And well, those are my 20 items. If you're another creator, I think you should make this video too. It's really fun to talk about and think about and put together and film. In the comments, I want you to tell me your favorite anything. Like your favorite foundation, your favorite blush, your favorite bronzer. You don't need to do like your favorite everything, but tell me two. Tell me two of your favorite category makeup items. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I thank you for supporting me in that way. If you're not already subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe before you go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate that you spent your precious moments with me today. And as y'all go about the rest of your day, remember that y'all are my treasure. Find the beauty in every day, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. I'll see you in my next videos. Bye!